pounds over.
They were just going to the gym, so
And how are you ladies tonight? Is Paula, how are you?
So what made you come back?
I was not proud. The other guy who was coming.
Like a squirrel in the yard?
Yeah.
The squirrels are bigger in the yard than she does.
So you have to like.
But believe it or not, we got people that we feed them regularly, so they're pretty good. Pick this car apart. And she'll take him right off after. Now, we've got a buck that's growing, he's, we watched his high school go from nothing.
Yeah.
Hillcrest.
He's now
The
starting to
teachers
like,
from another
you
district
know what?
shared it
Those
out,
are
and
neighbors.
I always go,
so.
up first the fence they have.
Was Kelly's not here tonight?
Nope.
You're on the show again.
And,
2 in a row.
Man, you're getting overtime now.
they're turning
I'll just hit Main Street up.
We weren't sure if he was gonna be here.
I was.
Well, I know.
Good deal.
I'm gonna share it with myself, so I don't lose it, but I always go right to the top.
Somebody else covers me.
Well, we'll still have
I
some
gotta
segment of four of us.
go back out there tonight.
There you go, thank you.
Really? You should, this is pretty cool, but I always go right to the comments, cause you always see a different side of the story.
That is my
But my
PSA
lady just said,
Annie.
Wow.
good comment readings
Fantastic.
are a lot done through phones now.
She's great.
So there was one of the debates
I'm sorry?
about that.
9.
Yeah, I mean, which Jake Christian, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Appreciate you filling in there at Cheryl's table.
I'll tell you what, Cheryl and Chris are both at the Lion and Gary Substance Sewer
Yes.
sessions. So,
She
yes.
called me over the weekend and said she probably wasn't gonna make it, cause it was busy time,
yeah,
so.
I'm happy not to have to do those.
Alright, well, on that note, it is 6:30, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. We have a roll call vote for members present.
Christian, Jesse,
Yes.
Nichols,
Here.
Brown,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Here.
Halliday.
Alright, if you would, please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everyone. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as presented this evening?
I'll make that motion. Support.
Alright, motion by Nichols, support by Whittington. All in favor with your raised right hand? Aye. Motion carries 5-0. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I'll make that motion.
Support.
Motion by Brown, support by Whittington. All in favor with your raised right hand? Aye. All ayes, motion carries 5-0. That brings us to student and staff recognition.
All right, thank you. So I would just like to recognize all of our 9th through 11th grade students who really excelled at summer school, coming in each day over the last 6 weeks to do their credit recovery and make sure they're caught up for the upcoming school year. And a big thanks to Jenny Van Dynen, Kathy Serum, Jeanette Wade for their hard work. The summer school finished last Thursday, and quick summer school tally. 9th grade students successfully completed 16 out of 21 attempted classes with a 76% completion rate. 10th grade, 26 out of 32 classes at an 81.25% completion rate. 11th grade at 20 out of 23 classes with an 83.78 completion rate. In total, our students successfully completed 62 out of 74 attempted classes, and this definitely puts them a step ahead coming into the new school year, which, when you think about it, for a junior, or actually these 10th and 11th graders who are now rising juniors and seniors, they can now take career tech ed classes that they might not have been able to take because they might have been having to do a credit recovery. This opens the door for other electives for them, and hopefully gets them into those courses of higher interest. When we think about the freshman year, you kind of have to take a lot of those state required courses. You don't get into some of those really fun electives. So the fact that they invested time certainly opens the door for career tech ed and other higher elective options. So really excited. It's a very good summer school. That's my student staff recognition.
Great, thank you, Mr. Williams. Any public comments this evening? Seeing none, we'll continue right on to report. Superintendent report.
All right. So on August 2nd, quick election update here. Voters will go to the polls to review multiple ballot initiatives, and Houghton Lake is asking voters to approve our operational millage and return to 18 mills the amount the district's able to collect for the operation of the school district. A Collecting the full 18 mills that is authorized by state constitution is instrumental in the district's ability to fully fund our existing programs, but also to offer new opportunities for our students. As a reminder, this millage does not impact the average homeowner or renter in Houghton Lake. This millage is levied against the non-homestead properties and local businesses only. It's something that historically our community has supported, and that date is coming up right around the corner. Another deadline that's coming up right around the corner is one that's tomorrow at 4 p.m., and that's the deadline for prospective board members to file their petition of candidacy and submit their signatures or pay their $100 filing fee to get on the ballot in November. This deadline again is tomorrow at 4 p.m. And as of this afternoon, when we checked, there's only one person who's completed the process to be on the ballot, but we do have 2 expected vacancies. So with the deadline one day away, please encourage those you believe to be a good fit on our school board to go to the clerk's office and complete the process. And finally, just want to give a big shout out to Sean at White Deer and our Houghton Lake Sports Boosters group. We had a really successful golf outing fundraiser last Friday. The weather cooperated. We were a little worried with some of the rain earlier in the week. In total, I think it was 22 or 23. I've been getting the number mixed up. Teams played in the annual Sports Boosters fundraiser. They did a great job of feeding everyone, organizing some great raffle prizes. They had a couple of 50-50 drawings. They're still tallying the proceeds, but they expect to bring in somewhere between $9,000 and $10,000 from that outing. So thanks to all of those who helped sponsor a hole or donated to support the event with prizes and other things for raffle baskets. I think I saw a Halliday sign out there at a hole. I saw a Paula Whittington sign out there at a hole, and if there were other signs that I missed them, I'm sorry. But I was trying to pay attention to who all the sponsors were. It was really nice to see. So thank you for everyone who supported. Just really good to see. And that is my update.
All right, thank you, Mr. Williams. That brings us to action items. First item is to approve Imagine Learning is Teaching renewal invoice for the amount of $33,750 out of ESSER 3 funds.
I'll make the motion.
Support.
Motion by Nichols, support by Whittington. Any discussion? Ben, you want to give us a brief?
Yeah, so this one and the next one are part of our annual renewals for some of our online learning software. Some of these are focused more on new courses and higher level courses. Others are focused on more credit recovery. And so these are packages we've had before. We actually cut back, not letter A, but when we get to the second one, letter B, we were able to trim that bill down a little bit from where we were this year. So that's what these 2 next ones are for.
Okay, any further discussion?
Is that an annual
Yes.
agreement?
Yes.
Okay, we're ready to vote?
Brown,
Yes.
Halliday, Nichols,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes.
Christian, Jeske,
Yes. Okay, all ayes, motion carries 5-0. Item B under action items, approve Imagine Learning Odysseyware renewal invoice for $9,916.95 out of ESSER 3.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support it.
Motion by Nichols, support by Brown. Ben kind of touched on everything already, so are we ready to vote?
Yep.
Okay,
Whittington,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Nichols,
Yes.
Halliday, Brown,
Yes.
Christian, Jeske,
yes. All ayes, motion carries 5-0. Alright, we need a motion for the approval of Great Lakes asphalt seal coating proposal for the junior senior high staff and visitor parking lot, the amount of $20,134.
I'll make that motion. I'll support it.
Motion by Whittington, support by Brown. Discussion. Ben, anything to go over with that?
Yeah, so, in your board packet, you see we have a competing bid, which is also a good bid, but the Great Lakes bid, it is definitely better by about almost $5,000. This bid does include repair, so it's not just seal coating and striping, it's cutting out and repairing all of the potholes that are starting to develop, especially if you've looked up by the yellow curb out front where the buses pull in and offload kids. It's getting pretty beat up there, so this bid includes, I think it's 335 square feet of cutting out and rebuilding the substrate before they seal coat. It includes all the striping, 6 handicap parking areas, and then painting the 600 linear feet of the yellow curb that goes all the way around. So I'm really looking forward to getting that done, and then we'll have to be tricky as we drive in and avoid the area for 3 or 4 or 5 days, however long it takes, probably be parking in the student side and walking through the building. But really looking forward to getting that done. You will note that it's out of general fund. I'm doing that on purpose because I didn't want to say ESSER yet, since our ESSER is pretty well spoken for, but we all know that may change. So as some of these ESSER projects get amended due to supply shortfall, we may very well be able to put this into ESSER, but not at this time. So if we end up making the change later, you will see that change in a future budget amendment. So, something we typically do around November, December after we see the fall count. But right now, I wanted to earmark it out of general.
Okay. Anything from the board?
I do have just a simple question. When they say, we are revising our commercial bid, so did they submit a bid and then revise it?
They actually submitted it 2 additional times. So the first bid came in around 23.4. They then refigured their own bid without prompting, lowered it, and then sent a third one yet lower. So again, unprompted.
So that it's a sealed process, correct, or a
No,
closed process?
no,
Can
no.
they
This-
see the
this-
other
No,
bids?
no,
Okay,
no. So this was the first company to bid,
okay,
and then they bid again. But they just
Then
said,
they
hey, we're
redid. Okay.
resubmitting our bid.
right,
And then they did it a third time. Each
Okay.
time it came down about $1,200 to $1,500.
got it, okay,
And so, I think they were really trying to, earn the business.
right,
And, but no, it's all the bids come in just to my office,
Okay.
and nobody sees.
right, with the,
Everybody's
okay, okay, thank you.
Okay, anything further from the board? Right, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Brown,
Yes.
Halliday, Nichols,
Yes.
Souter,
Yes.
Whittington,
Yes,
Christian, Jeske,
Yes. All ayes, motion carries 5-0. That brings us to discussion. We've got first readings of policies 1662, 3362, and 4362.
Right, so these 3 are essentially the same. One's out of the administrative section, one is professional, one's support staff. But basically, this is your general harassment policy, and the only change happening in here is to change the names of the Title IX compliance officers. From one was a principal, one was an assistant principal, but with all of the heightened scrutiny under Title IX certainly coming up and some of the legislative changes, it's probably a higher level, kind of thing if it were to come up. So I'm making sure we have 2 of our principals in those roles, and then I would be the hearing officer that they would report to. So our legal counsel advises us to have a male and a female compliance officer, so this adjustment keeps with that trend, but it puts both Jeff and Alicia in that role. So the only changes really are to update the emails, the names, phone numbers, that kind of thing. The rest of the policy stays the same, because it's really a new policy, it's only 2021.
Yeah.
I have scheduled a Title IX training in August for me and for Alicia and Jeff. It's a half-day training that True Law Firm is putting on, because with a lot of the federal changes, there's definitely been some heightened scrutiny in this area, and we want to make sure we're up to date.
Thanks, Ben. And then the next item under discussion is to review the board meeting calendar options for 2023. See those, we got 3 options in our packet.
Yeah, I just want to give Kim a shout out. Thanks, Kim, for putting this together. She tried to, for the hybrid model, listening to you guys, she tried to just kind of look at some of the months that it probably makes sense to drop down to 1, and then look at others that it makes sense, when it's budget amendment time kind of thing, to keep 2. And so 1 is very simple. It's what we're currently doing, the 2 meetings a month. 1 is just straight 1 meeting, and then the hybrid. So we're not asking you to decide anything now, but certainly discuss, and then we'll take feedback from you and, you know, whatever we do, we can certainly start drafting something up for the January, changeover.
I like the hybrid, but it just, again, we don't really have much to say, 'cause you're gonna do this in January.
Unless you run to the clerk's office tomorrow and get your name on it.
So, Kim, thank you, by the way. I mean, after I looked at it, and I'm like, okay, once a month, twice a month,
Yeah.
and then the hybrid makes a lot of sense.
It does.
Because there are some months,
Yeah.
again, we go into Christmas break, we go into
Mhm.
spring break,
Yeah.
you know, that we really, not that we don't wanna be here, because ultimately we do.
Yeah.
But I think it makes more sense, and then at your discretion,
Sure.
I like the hybrid.
I went back through the agendas to see what we do routinely.
Well, and it's when you're getting your contract signed,
Right.
when they need
Yeah.
approval on them, I mean,
Definitely.
it may put different
we
work
hit,
on you.
we hit the target dates, for
Yeah.
sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Yep,
Yeah, I'm comfortable with it.
Okay.
nice.
Alright, let's sit on it for a meeting and wait for,
Yeah.
The rest of you.
Chauncey and
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kelly to come back and voice their opinions, and then we can act on it at that point, if that's the board's pleasure. Board member comments. Anybody have anything to add this evening?
Mhm.
Always great to be here. Good to see Mr. Ham in
Yeah.
action. He's
Yeah.
not actually retired like I was told.
Long time away, right, Eric, right?
And for allowing Amy to be our special emotional support animal today.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
I felt a lot
This is
better.
quite a stressful,
I
You can
felt
see
a lot
she's
better,
pretty busy.
yes.
quite a stressful
Yeah,
meeting.
yeah.
I thought for sure there might be a little person in the back row that I was gonna feed her to.
But not today.
Oh, no,
I know.
no, he's, asleep, and we're not gonna poke that bear.
Smart,
So,
very smart.
alright, if there are no more comments, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you. Good work, everybody. Well, Eric picked a good one.
I know.
Good.
Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
that, he saw the agenda
There might
and
still
was
be
like-
time to run off to the,
Staff is
Yeah,
gonna
plenty
be
of
like,
time.
If anybody asks, it was a long meeting.
Yeah, you can just tell Cheryl it was brutal. It was brutal.
Yeah.
Well, they get posted to YouTube.
Oh, I know.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah.
She's I'll be there by
Good
4
work,
p.m.
good work.
tomorrow. Yeah, if I get it approved.
so there's two more of those at home.
There's gonna be a.
And
Okay,
one
yeah,
of them's
I-
not quiet.
Yeah.
No, I
She's a
didn't.
I'll
sweetheart.
be there at 4 p.m.
She's
tomorrow, so I'm just through the run again. If you
This
find a way
one
to
is
pay me
my
for coaching
go-to
at the same
every-
time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would have way more
I
money
know,
coaching.
I know, and I don't think I can figure out a
Right,
workaround of that.
exactly.
But I do understand.
There's two that come to school, right?
So my wife's got we do have a Labrador that comes to school.
Yeah.
That's a
Oh,
big, that's a
And
big
so
thing.
Annie just makes an appearance here and there. But
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
the funny part is, I mean, she was
Well, it
kind of the
doesn't seem
driving
like much,
force
it's a lot of time.
of bringing Ollie into